Alright, so today, messing with the PSE Levitate, the Deer Slayer, putting a new motor in it. It's a new set of gas strings for the carbon Levitate. These are stock strings, but they are used stock strings because mine got cut middle of the year last year. And so these were some that had been taken off at my local shop and for somebody else to put some new ones on. These are getting a little frayed. I'm seeing a little separation here around the roller guard. So I figured it was just time to go ahead and put some new ones on. Plus, I like for them to kind of be custom and match and look good, you know. Look good, play good. And I figured, you know, this is a good time to do that in the off season while I'm tinkering and playing with stuff. I'll keep these for backup strings. You know, there's not a thing wrong with them other than there's a little bit of wear and tear on them. So, you know, it's kind of follow along. I'm not a professional bow tech by any means. I've done a few strings on some different bows, you know, throughout the years. It's not complicated. You just got to do one string at a time, and just when you replace a cable, put a cable on, and so forth, and back and forth like that. While we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and move my shims over. I've got it shooting bullet holes right now, but I've got everything like as far to the center line as I can. And so I'm seeing a little bit of my riser when I look through my sight, and I don't want that. I want a full sight picture. So I'm going to try to bump everything back away from the riser a little bit and see if we can get a little better sight picture in the process. So it's kind of a total bow do-over, if you will, in this process. Like I said, putting a new motor in a Corvette, it's going to run good and purr good. I think I was only pulling 64 pounds, and I twisted the cables up to get it closer to 68. You know, it's a 70-pound bow, so I'm going to check it real quick, and we'll just kind of see what it's actually drawing. So 67 pounds. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this axle out and flip these spacers around, which would be easier if I had a Gen 2, but I don't. So we're just going to make do. There we go. All right, we got that one started. The hard part is when you push them out, this spacer wants to drop down, and you got to catch it or it's hitting the floor and it's gone. So and they're plastic, so it's just a pain. So have something there ready to catch that when it falls. Okay, so through that, leave the axle in over here, but as you pull it back, these are probably going to drop. At least. So those are on the right side, and these are on the left side. It's the other side. That's a beast. Because not only do these spacers got to get in between there, also got to line this hole up, and you're basically doing it all blind. So what I've kind of done in the past is run this back through, and as you slide these in, try to catch them with this . You'll kind of tap on this without being a hammer and being just too much. You can feel it pushing the hex wrench out, letting you know that it's coming correctly. Alright, now she's out on both sides. Take these clips, slide them back down. Alright, so we've moved our cams over. So the next thing we want to do before we take this string off is we actually want to measure our distances, so they get us real close to where we need to be with our new stuff. So from the center of the peep to this notch here on the cam, it's right at 9 inches. So when I set my new peep, I'm going to measure from here, go down to be 9 inches, and that's going to be the center point on that new peep. And from the center of the string, center of my D loop to the center of my peep is going to be 5 3/4 inches. And all that's rough estimate. We'll have to tweak it, I'm sure, but that'll get us really close, get us in the ballpark. So from here, I think we're ready to actually just start removing our string, press it a little more, and putting our new string on. So we'll get this one out and make sure we've got everything we need, lay it out like we should. So here's our actual string. And here's our 2 cables. And we'll use the same clip that's on this to clip the old string so it doesn't unravel any. Yes. Alright, so we're just going to lay this string here. Move that blade away from it. And we'll start taking this one off. And then just put the new one right on. This will be a good backup string if something happens during the season. I'll just set this one underneath here. Try not to get any twist out of it. We'll use that paper clip to put it on there. Now we'll go with this new one. A little more press. Alright. String is on. Looks good. Alright, next up, let's get this string clipped together so it doesn't unravel. Put that back in the bag. Save it for future use. Now we've got to get this drop away out of here. Of course, they're all out of that anyway. So it's going to go like this. We just took that one off. I'll put this one right on. So that side is off. Now that side is off. So we're going to go around it and then cross over. And then wrap around and connect back. Alright, so we've got the yoke system here, I think, good down here. I hope we didn't lose any twists in it. Didn't notice any twists coming out, but we'll find out, I guess, when we go to tune. Alright, so now we got to do the other one, and we're done with the strings and cables. Then we just got to get into the D-loops and peep sights and all that. So same thing with this other one. It's the top one here. One side's easy because it's just unclipping it. I say it's easy. So that side's easy enough. Let me get this one out of the way. I'm just taking a little small flathead screwdriver and just sliding that string off of that little screw head. Okay, that's off. That's off. Got our yoke system there. Okay, so our old strings are ready to go back on. Let's get the new one on. Alright, so we've got everything, I think, on and lined up good. Just going to check everything. We're going to slowly start putting pressure back on it. The last thing we want is anything to be on there wrong as it loads pressure. Barely on a loop or something. Love the color combo, the accents. It goes with everything else about these Levitates. And I love the way they look. So let's see how many pounds we're pulling. Tie in our drop away. I guess we could put our drop away in because that'll affect our timing. We'll check our timing while we're under pressure. So I use this kind of half of a arrow. It's like an old broken arrow, but I use it specifically for this because it'll fit on the table. Just trying to get where straight up and down it'll rest just right, and then we can tie in our knot ties. It's over, so it's just going to be a ballpark. Alright, so that right there is pretty dang close. I don't get into too much of the 2 on top, 3 on bottom or any of that. I just want a couple of them to hopefully keep it from pinching in too much. So I'm going to do probably 3 on the bottom and then 3 on the top. Just trying to keep the D-loop from coming in too much. right here is going to be 9. Peeps right about 9. Give that a few little ties. Alright, D-loop or peep is temporarily tied in. Let's check our measurements from our peep to here. A little longer, but hopefully that'll be okay. We're just off by a little bit on this. So alright, D-loop's on. Peep is temporarily tied in. Let's see how much poundage we're pulling. Bottom's hitting a little faster than our top. So bottom's hitting closer than the top. Take a look at that piece while we're back here too. Alright, bottom's hitting faster than the top. £67. So exactly where we were. We actually hopefully get a little more out of it. Twist these cables up here. Alright, so we've got everything on. We're going to paper tune now. I've kind of eyeballed it just to make sure. The D-loop's just temporary, or the peep is temporarily tied in. I haven't put anything underneath this, but I've got the timing right. So I think we're now ready to actually just shoot her through paper and then start setting the peep for sure, and then we'll tie in underneath our drop away just to make sure it's 100% set. But it looks beautiful. I love the accent colors. You can see I'm a big fan of the neon green accents, and the string just makes it pop a little more. We're bad high right on our tear. Pretty gnarly tear, which I don't know why I didn't even think about putting everything on a level before I go shoot it. I guess I was just excited. And we didn't level anything. Actually pretty level on our rest.